Now moving on to the today's topic. In the previous class we have discussed about what are the different scenarios that have led into the world, what are the major problems that we have discussed, anti-war, anti-nuclear strategies, what made them to develop, we have come across. Now moving on to the concept of globalization. This is a concept of which has changed the entire world into a global market or a world village, where every corner is connected to the other market or every area is connected with the other region. Earlier, if we have anything to travel from one region to other region, it used to take days, hours and minutes, but now it is just with a phone call we can get connected with east to west or north to south, connecting according to the situation. And this globalization concept, or it is also known as neoliberalization. This neoliberalization has changed the entire scenario of the existing things, but as well as it has brought some drastic changes which others are affected. See, when we consider of this globalization or neoliberalization, we get into the scenario the people of rich capitalists. These rich capitalist people or the industrialist people or the rich nations or the superpower countries started to impose certain kind of restrictions on the lower countries or the developing countries to sell their products at very less cost. At the same time, for example, if you want to build a dam or an industry or something, the lands of the poor people were grabbed off and the necessary compensations were not paid for them as per the required content. This also was one of the major problems which was emerging out of the globalization. And because of globalization, we got the environmental problems. These environmental problems are of various kinds. Because of over globalization, because of the investments or because of the industries releasing the more amount of pollutants outside, more amount of carbon monoxide outside, this has raised the temperatures in the world. When the temperatures have raised in the world, that has raised the temperatures and which has started to melt the polar ice caps, and because of the overheat which is melting for us, we start to get some kind of depletion in the ozone layer. So we have various issues which have generated during the modern period after the Second World War has come to end, after the USA and USSR have agreed to reduce their nuclear arm piles. We got to concentrate on the liberalization policy, then moving on to the global economic scenario of globalization. What are the major changes which concerns were developed towards the environmental issues? What are the major environmental issues in our country? What are the major environmental issues have generated in the entire world? Against what did they stand? What was their success point here? What is their main motto in getting this kind of environmental mottos? Or is there any organization working against the anti-environmental programs? We will discuss all these things. Now moving on to the very international movement which started against the superpower nation, we shall discuss about the movement of Greenpeace Moment. Greenpeace Moment was started in 1971 at Alaska. About what is this Greenpeace Movement? What is the meaning of green? Green symbolizes the nature color. Peace is to sustain the environmental peace. Here, the meaning of this Greenpeace have occurred from this actually is a movement which is against the US government conducting tests in underwaters.